Fortress. There must be other guards. Be careful. How awful. They've been reduced to burning the bodies.
How could members of the Guard choose to participate in this massacre? Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Locked. I don't have the key. Locked. I don't have the key. I don't have the key.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! about to get nasty.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions and the most efficient concoctions.
Come closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the back garden.
Locked. I don't have the key.
locked. I don't have the key.
You're not one of those nasty birds, are you?
No. I've come to put an end to all these horrors. To save you. But I thought they only captured the Onol Manawi.
I don't know why they brought us here. But they hurt us. I saw them cut a friend of mine into pieces. Get us out of here, Trokaret!
I'll find a way.
I want the one who did this to know fear and suffering.
Let's hold this good doctor to account.
I don't have the key.
Let's go now. I want to see my people again.
Just one moment. I haven't freed all the prisoners yet. Now that they are free, we must help the prisoners escape this place.
They can't leave through the city. The guards will stop them, or worse.
So we have to find another way to get them out. Perfect. We just have to clear the way. The mechanism doesn't work. I need to take a closer look. I have to find the people responsible for what happened here. They must answer for their crimes. Wait for me.
We are prepared to fight these people with you.
Yes. We will make them pay for what they have done to us.
You're not strong enough to fight. It's better for you to stay there.
To get
These poor people lost their lives only a few hours ago. They could not survive this mutilation.
And they were stirred. They were cut up like pieces of meat. May the volcano engulf those who did this.
This note carefully describes the sequence of the experiments. There are even sketches. It's hard not to feel sick. This is proof of all the horrors committed here. Asili has locked himself in his office. Locked. I don't have the key.
Who are you? You have no right to be here.
I have come to free your prisoners, and put an end to all the horrors that take place here.
I knew this would happen eventually. This all went too far. Dr. Asili, he lost his mind a long time ago. But what are you going to do with us?
Arrest you. Then I expect you will be sentenced.
No, please! We only followed the doctor's orders. We tried to stop him, but he is the director of the lab.
You could have reported it to the governor or left this place.
He threatened to destroy our lives. We could not... Please, don't lock us up.
What will you do once you're free?
We will try to redeem ourselves and resume our work at the governor's laboratory. That's where we worked before joining Dr. Asili's team.
If your conscience allows you to resume your activities as if nothing has happened, you may go.
I'm eternally grateful, Your Excellency.
locked.
Who are you, and under what right do you enter here?
I'm the legate of the merchant congregation, and I'm here to put an end to your crimes.
My crimes? What are you talking about? My work was for the good of humanity. Don't tell me you're crying over some savages. The survival of our species requires sacrifice.
Do you feel no remorse for what you've done to all these people?
Remorse is an unnecessary obscurity in the mind. A good scientist must detach himself from it as soon as possible. Even so, it was only savages for the most part.
This man is a cold-blooded reptile. My brothers and sisters were no more than ants to him.
You are a very beautiful specimen. When I think of the power flowing through your veins...
We learned everything we wanted to know. This lab will close and you will answer for everything you have done.
You think so? Guards! Capture these people!
To my help! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Stop! Think of my knowledge. All that I have accomplished. That can never disappear.
You will answer for your crimes in court.
But I'll be out soon. My colleagues will understand the importance of my work.
We shall see about that. Let's go. I found a way out of the city. But be careful. You are weakened, and creatures roam these tunnels. I will lead the way. There you are. You're free.
You have saved our lives. How can we thank you?
We will never forget what you have done for us on Al-Manawi.
Yes, we will always be grateful.
We're not very far from the Hikmet outpost. You'll have to be careful.
I know how to reach the port without being seen.
Perfect. As for you, you should take refuge in Vikshadia. You will be safe there, but you should avoid the Alliance patrols.
We'll get there. Qua awalen segven.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiments. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The Dinea Exregao are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
And what of this conflict with Thélème on Tir Freddy?
Officially, we are at war. But we have never waged war openly here. Of course, we did not rejoice when they set up camp on the Isle, and we expected the worst. But it seems that their only concern is to convert the natives into believing their ridiculous teachings. They represent no true danger to us. And to be frank...
Can you tell me anything about Dr. Asili?
Asili is a man of remarkable knowledge. One of our most brilliant sages.
You already told me that, Your Excellency.
He is one of those rare men who master alchemy, mathematics, and naturalism with equal assiduity. Anatomy has no secrets for him, and medicine is his passion. Do you realize that it was he who perfected the inoculation technique?
Inoculation? What is that?
A novel treatment that allows us to fabricate immunity to sickness, such as the pox. If any man can find a remedy for the Malachor, it would be him.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Buran told me to pay you a visit.
Oh. It is you who arrested Dr. Asili, and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the Doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I could convince some of the Doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
Do we have any chance of winning?
What you have brought me is a good start, Your Excellency, but it would be better to continue gathering evidence.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. And I should also go back to Asili's laboratory. There may be more evidence there.
De Sardet, could you...
Another time, if you don't mind.
Did you want anything else?
I must leave you.
De Sardet, I would like to go to Kurganau, the place of ritual, but they call it...
Sorry.
I understand. Anything else?
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. He was a renowned doctor back in Al-Sad. His unusual methods saved many lives, and I was very proud to be amongst his students. He taught me a lot. He was a great teacher. He was strict and severe, but he always pushed us to do our best. It's only when I joined him on the island that I understood that there was something wrong. He seemed changed and completely obsessed with the Malachor. You know it killed his wife and 2 children. He was so shaken by that, he no longer showed any restraint in his research. Such a waste. For the natives he massacred as well as for science.
I must leave you. Dr.
Dr. Honor. What do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Thank you. I must leave you.
Come on, if you dare!
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the Doctor's trial.
The Doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
At the fiery flasks, you'll find the quintessence of alchemy. The best potions.
Dr. Honor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
I took a look at a few pages of your research. I was very impressed.
Really? You're very kind. But these are the leads we had to abandon.
Due to pressure from Dr. Asili, if I've understood correctly.
Indeed. According to him, focusing on the reasons behind the contamination was a waste of time. All that mattered was the cure.
And you want to defend him? How many promising leads did you give up to please him? Why continue to serve him when you could finally gain your independence?
You are not wrong. Very well, you've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to...
Hello. I see that you're back to work.
Indeed. We were not bothered thanks to you. And here I can make myself useful. But I don't think you're here to ask about me. What can I do for you?
What is your purpose here?
I help Dr. Unur to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
Yes. I kept silent for far too long about what was going on in that lab. I know what we did was wrong, and I do not want it to happen again.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. can't believe it. Constantine's Malachor was caused by a silly. The potion we were made to drink when we landed on the island was contaminated. How dare he do such a thing? And why?
I'm sorry, Greenblood. I never thought someone would try to kill him that way.
De Sardet, I would like to go, but they call it...
Sorry.
I understand. Anything else?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
Well, I never imagined it would have led to such cruel treatment. But if we want to live in a better world, free from the Malachor, we will have to make sacrifices.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. Well, like many of us, he was affected by the corpses we saw piling up because of the Malachor, and the urgency of finding a cure made him forego all morality. It's horrible, and I regret all the suffering he's caused, but I guess I can understand it.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
No, De Sardet. I'm sorry. You know that I disapprove of what he did, but I don't think I can take responsibility for his death if he's convicted.
I understand.
Anything else?
I must leave you.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawe who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaigse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tir Nahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.